Hey guys, what's up? ZeroDex here, and I got some amazing news for you guys. There was an interview between Kazumasa Habu and Kenji Watanabe. Now if you don't know who these guys are, well, both of these guys are amazing people. Let's talk about Kenji Watanabe first. This guy is the lead art designer for Digimon. He is in charge of creating the Digimon. He has drawn or helped draw almost all the Digimon from Tyrannomon to Grace Novamon. He has also designed and drew all the different versions of Omnimon. In fact, in this interview, we find out why there are so much different Omnimons, especially the latest ones. Now, let's talk about Kazumasa Habu. Habu has created a lot of amazing Digimon games. He created Digimon Redigitize, Digimon Cyber Sleuth, Next Order, and Hacker's Memory. In fact, when working on Digimon Redigitize, Habu told Kenji to create the mega levels for two of the oldest Digimon, Ogremon and Tyrannomon. And so, because of Habu, we have Rush Tyrannomon and Titamon. Habu is a big Digimon fan, and I think it's thanks to him that we have Digimon games in the West. Now, since this interview has two important people, there will be lots of interesting things discussed in the interview. Now, firstly, Habu states that from now on, they will stop making games for the Vita and that they will create Digimon games for the PS4 only. Now, I know a lot of you Vita users are angry at this news, but there is a good reason why they did this. If they make a Digimon game for the Vita and the PS4, then the PS4 engine and graphics would have to be suitable for the Vita as well. But if they create a game for the PS4 only, we could have a better game engine, and this means we could have better graphics and we would be able to get more Digimon in the latest games. So, I'm sorry for you Vita users, but it looks as if you want to play the latest Digimon games coming out in the future, you will need to get a PS4. In the interview, we find out how Kenji Watanabe creates a Digimon's design. Firstly, Watanabe is not the only one to create the Digimon's designs. There is a group of people who all work together on the designs. Watanabe states that first, he and the other designers would hold meetings during which everyone would draw the idea they had in mind for a Digimon. Then they followed by a discussion on what could be added where. Watanabe states that each person has a more specific role. Not only that, it's not uncommon for them to do this sort of single shot design when it comes to the more recent Digimon designs. They can all brainstorm together when they have to come up with a certain quantity of design. But it gets tough when they have to make a single Digimon that has to sell something on its own. This is true, especially in the recent times when he has to draw ultimate level Digimon quite often, and the details of these designs take a lot of effort to draw. So Watanabe is saying that designing new Digimon like Grace Novamon is quite difficult because of all the details and the features he has. Watanabe also states that since Zubamon was the character representing and commemorating the 20th anniversary, he wanted to draw something that was a step up from the usual rookie Digimon design, because just compare Zubamon to other rookie level Digimon. Zubamon has more detail and he even looks more like a chibi champion or ultimate level Digimon. Watanabe states that since it's the 20th anniversary, he wanted to draw a character that was like a shrunk down version of Omnimon, a symbolic character within the Digimon franchise. So Zubamon's design was inspired by Omnimon. Also, in the interview, Habu states that he wants to represent the fans, and he asked this question to Kenji: what do you think of the increasing number of Omnimon type Digimon? Kenji replies by saying that it's not his fault. In fact, it was Bandai Namco Entertainment that made the initial request for a new Omnimon. Omnimon Zwart had been made for a card earlier on, but Kenji was told by Bandai that they wanted a black version of Omnimon, but with a different feel from Omnimon Zwart. So, using that information, Kenji created Omnimon Zwart D, Alter B, and Alter S. However, he also said that because they created new Omnimons, they wanted to create the pre-fusion Digimon forms as well. So I think he is talking about Blitz Greymon and Crest Garurumon. So that's the reason why we have so much new Omnimons lately, and the reason why we have the new Greymon and Garurumon. I'm kind of happy we got the new Omnimons, mostly because I love Blitz Greymon and Crest Garurumon. Habu states that his preference is for filling in the evolutionary gaps in existing Digimon. We saw him do this for Digimon such as Tyrannomon and Ogremon, who had no mega level Digimon. This makes me believe that in the future games we will see more new Digimon for the existing lines. What Digimon do you guys wish would have their evolution be filled? Habu jokingly states that why not add even more Omnimon and create a game where all Omnimon species can duke it out in a battle royale, a battle to decide the strongest Omnimon breaks out. It would be cool if we did have something like that, like a mini game called Omnimon Rumble or Omni Rumble, where you get to choose your strongest Omnimon. Heck, they could even make a new group called the Omniforce, and this group could just be filled with all the Omnimon type Digimon. That would be fun to see. Anyways, Watanabe states that he wishes he could create Digimon that had their time to shine, and he wonders if the fans might also be okay with the idea, so long as the created Digimon get used in some way. And Habu replies telling him that he also thinks that if they were to create brand new Digimon, he would want them to have a specific role. However, even before that, he would want to dig deeper into the Digimon groups that already exist and include them in his games, like the Olympus 12 for example. And there you have it folks, it's confirmed that Habu wishes to make a game about the specific Digimon groups, and the main group he is thinking about making a game for is the Olympus 12. Now either Hacker Memory is going to be about the Olympus 12 or it's going to be a new future game. I personally think it's going to be a new future game that's after Hacker's Memory. But now you guys, we don't need to wish for Bandai to make a game about the Olympus 12. Habu is planning on making the game in the future, and I am so excited for this. I simply cannot wait for that game. And maybe in that game we get the Geogresses of the Olympus 12. Are you guys excited to get a game focused on the Olympus 12 and maybe other Digimon groups as well? Anyways, back to the interview. Watanabe states that as we move into a networked society, it has become easier for normal people and fans to publish their own original Digimon. It's a good thing, but on the other hand, he personally finds it scary. More precisely, he is worried about whether the Digimon he creates will overlap with existing original Digimon that fans have created. For example, when he and his group are asked to design a something mon, he might search the internet to find that someone has already designed an original Digimon by that name as well. For a period of time, they did try their best not to infringe on existing fan-made original Digimon ideas, but now that the number of illustrations have been increasing at a never-ending pace, they try not to worry about it too much. Then he tells the fans that he is sorry if their ideas overlapped with yours, but rest assured that they didn't try to steal your ideas. And I can understand what he's talking about. Nowadays, people make a lot of their own fan-made Digimon, and well, if he and his group need to make a Digimon that will have the same name as the fan-made Digimon, then they will simply just do that. And I'm pretty sure the fans don't really mind if they take their names. Habu then asks he finds it interesting how the idea of more and more Digimon surfing over the net actually ties with the original setting of Digimon. There have also been Digimon that were fan entries made official. For example, Catch Mamemon that appears in the Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory game is one such Digimon that was also created by the fans. Now, Watanabe talks about how he comes up with the Digimon's design. He states that usually they have 3 people involved in the illustration, including him. When they want a firm-looking mecha-like design, they try to delegate it to someone who specializes in doing that, such as asking Asmaria-san, who is somewhat like a guest illustrator. In other words, we think of who would be best suited to design this character. Usually, I would draw the first draft to express the image I have in mind. Then, we'd ask Asmaria to draw however he wants to. After all, I think it wouldn't have been made for very interesting designs if he had just stuck to the mecha style that I drew in. When we request for someone to draw something, we do it because we want something to be drawn in their style. So we tell them to draw however they like. However, there are times when the final result turns out completely different from the rough sketch. It's also because of that I feel allocating the work to them was the right choice. Of course, illustrators can't be good at drawing everything, and they tend to have their strong and weak points. So we can't draw out the exact image that comes to our mind. Habu asks him what happens when things don't go well or when you stray too far from your original intentions. How do you fix it? Watanabe tells him that redrawing and getting faults pointed out is inevitable. Feminine Digimon in particular are hard to design. I feel Digimon is, at its foundation, targeted at a boy audience. I think it's great if we could make the feminine Digimon look cool as well. Using coolness as a base, we just add a bit of sexiness to the design so that it's not only cool but also heartthrob inducing. I feel that achieving that kind of balance would be best. Habu then asks that in the initial stages, the faces of humanoid Digimon were usually hidden. Was there an enforced rule of some sort that caused this? Watanabe replies saying that it's true that there were many Digimon whose eyes were hidden. It felt as if by adding eyes, we were diluting the digital feel of the design. If we give humanoid Digimon too much of the realistic feeling, they end up not feeling like monsters anymore. So we tried not to draw their eyes to some extent. So for some examples of what types of human type Digimon covering their eyes are Angemon, Angewomon, Seraphimon, and even Venusmon. Habu then asks how it must have changed with Lilithmon, as she's a human-like Digimon, but you can see her eyes as well. Watanabe states that Lilithmon's name and base idea was inspired by a robot anime that was popular around that time. Now we also find out something interesting. Habu tells him that he had heard Watanabe take some inspiration from American comics, but he has seen some of the anime-inspired Digimon as well. Watanabe tells him that from the start, I wondered whether it was okay if the designs ended up resembling existing things. However, thinking about how Digimon are basically informations on the net that have been monsterfied, we could just see them as having been influenced by topics present on the net. While it might be hard to tell once you get an ultimate level, the child levels at least don't usually have very complicated silhouettes. We add some details in the form of belts and other elements which don't affect the silhouettes, that give sort of a Digimon-ish vibe. I like belts, zippers and pockets, even when it comes to fashion, so I try to incorporate those into my design. When it comes to zippers, I simply have to draw out their teeth all pointed. When the zipper is opened, they look like fangs belonging to a mouth, and so that's why so much Digimon have belts and zippers. And here I thought it was a fashion trend in the digital world. I mean, just look at Dex Dorugoromon. He has belts all over his body. Watanabe then says that the humanoid Digimon take inspiration from American heroes. More specifically, they aim for a slim macho type build. Watanabe states that in the first place, he never thought the Digimon would have continued like this for so long, despite usually being in the background. He is very grateful to see Digimon get its chance in the spotlight, and from this interview and other projects, there have been more opportunities for him to hear the fans' opinions directly. By maintaining a close relationship with the fans, it makes doing everything more interesting. And that's the interview, you guys. I learned a lot of new things because of this interview. I am mostly excited about the new Digimon group games, and are you guys excited that we will finally get to see the Olympus 12 in the new game? And what do you guys think of Kenji Watanabe and Kazumasa Habu? Both are amazing people and both have given us a lot of Digimon and Digimon content. Anyways, if you like this video, please subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.